Welcome to Histophi, the place where ordinary things turns into extraordinary stories. Here we don't just tell history, we uncover the truth behind it. The hidden science, the psychology, and the dark surprising details no one talks about. Because everything around you has a story, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So if you're someone who loves deep, mind-opening content, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Histophi, and share it with someone who enjoys discovering the unknown. Because on this channel, every video will make you question something you thought was simple. And today, we're starting with something you use almost every day: coffee. A drink that feels harmless, comforting, routine, but behind that cup is a story of addiction, science, power, and a system that quietly controls billions of people. So before you take your next sip, watch this, because this isn't just coffee. This is the story of how it took over the world. What if I told you that coffee doesn't actually give you energy? It just tricks your brain into thinking you have it. Every morning, billions of people drink a dark liquid that quietly rewires the brain, controls the mood, and even shapes how the modern world works. And here's the unsettling part: without it, many people don't feel like themselves. So the question is, are you drinking coffee? Or is coffee controlling you? Coffee feels simple. You wake up, you drink it, you feel alive again. But behind that feeling, there's a hidden system at work: chemicals, neurons, tiny signals firing inside your brain. Coffee doesn't just wake you up, it hijacks your biology. And this isn't new. For centuries, coffee has spread across the world, changing cultures, fueling revolutions, and quietly shaping human behavior. So today, we are not just exploring coffee's history, we are uncovering its science. Because once you understand what coffee is really doing to you, you may never look at your morning cup the same way again. Long ago, in Ethiopia, a goat herder noticed something strange. His goats wouldn't sleep. They were restless, hyperactive, almost unnatural. The cause? A small red berry. Inside that berry was a compound called caffeine. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Your brain has a chemical called adenosine. Think of it like a tiredness signal. Throughout the day, adenosine builds up, telling your brain, slow down. It's time to rest. But caffeine? It looks almost identical to adenosine. So when you drink coffee, caffeine slips into those receptors and blocks them. Your brain can't see the tired signal anymore. So instead of feeling exhausted, you feel alert. But here's the truth: you're not less tired, your brain is just being tricked. And once humans discovered this effect, there was no going back. Because this wasn't just a drink, it was a biological shortcut, and soon it would spread. When coffee reached Yemen, it became more than a curiosity. It became a tool. Sufi monks drank it to stay awake during long nights of prayer, and this reveals something powerful about caffeine. It extends our mental endurance. Scientifically, caffeine increases dopamine activity. That's the same chemical linked to motivation and reward. So when you drink coffee, your brain doesn't just wake up. It feels driven, focused, almost unstoppable. That's why coffee doesn't just make you alert. It makes you want to do things. And this changed society. People could walk longer, think deeper, stay engaged for hours. Coffee didn't just wake people up, it expanded what humans could handle. But there was a side effect no one expected. People started gathering, talking, sharing ideas because caffeine doesn't just affect energy, it sharpens thinking. And sharper thinking can challenge power, which is exactly what happened next. As coffee houses spread across the Middle East, something unusual happened. They became places of discussion, debates, politics, ideas. Why? Because caffeine enhances cognitive performance. In simple terms, it makes your brain faster, more alert to patterns, more engaged in conversations. So, a room full of people drinking coffee became a room full of active minds. To rulers, this was dangerous because history shows something clear: when people think more, they question more. And when they question more, they become harder to control. So, coffee was banned in some regions not because it was harmful, but because it made people too aware. But bans didn't work because caffeine was another effect. It creates dependence, not extreme like drugs, but enough that your brain starts expecting it. Over time, you don't just like coffee, you need it to feel normal, and that need kept it alive until it reached Europe. When coffee entered Europe, something unexpected happened. It replaced alcohol. Before coffee, many people drank beer daily, even in the morning. Alcohol shows the brain, caffeine speeds it up. This shifts changed human behavior at scale. Suddenly, people were more alert during the day, more productive, more focused. This period aligned with the Enlightenment, a time of science, philosophy, and new ideas. Now, think about this: was it a coincidence? Or did coffee play a role? Because when millions of people switch from a depressant to a stimulant, society itself begins to change. Productivity increases, innovation rises, coffee houses became known as penny universities. For the price of a cup, you could hear ideas that shaped the future. And behind it all was a simple molecule affecting millions of brains at once. As coffee demand exploded, something darker followed. Plantations, mass production, global trade systems, coffee became one of the most traded commodities in the world. But here's the psychological twist: caffeine dependence created predictable demand. People didn't just want coffee, they relied on it. From a scientific view, regular caffeine use changes your brain slightly, you develop tolerance, meaning you need more to feel the same effect. And without it, you feel withdrawal, headaches, fatigue, low mood. So people kept drinking every day. This made coffee incredibly valuable, a product people returned to again and again. And that's reliability built an empire. But the story doesn't end here. Because today, coffee is more powerful than ever. Right now, coffee is a part of your routine. But look closer. It's not just a habit, it's a system. Most people drink coffee within minutes of waking up. Why? Because cortisol, the natural wake up hormone, is still adjusting. So instead of letting the body wake naturally, people use caffeine to override it. Your brain quickly learns this pattern: wake up, drink coffee, feel normal. Over time, normal becomes dependent on caffeine. And here's something surprising. Studies shows caffeine can stay in your body for 6 to 8 hours. So that afternoon coffee, it might still be affecting your brain at midnight. Sleeps get lighter, recovery drops, and the next morning you feel tired again. So you drink more coffee. It's a loop, a very efficient one. Today, coffee is a global phenomenon. Over 2 billion cups consumed every day. It fuels offices, startups, late night creators, even entire industries depend on it. But it also reflects something deeper about modern life. We live in a world that demands constant output: more work, more focus, more energy. And coffee fits perfectly into that system. It helps people push beyond natural limits, but at what cost? Less sleep, higher stress, dependence on stimulation. So, coffee isn't just a drink anymore, it's a tool used to keep the modern world running. Coffee began as a simple berry with a strange effect on goats. Today, it shapes how billions of humans think, work, and live. It doesn't give you energy, it borrows it from your future. And for a few hours, it lets you feel unstoppable. But maybe the real question isn't what does coffee do to us? It's what have we built that makes us feel like we need it every day? So, tomorrow morning, when you first take that first sip, pause. Because inside that cup, it's not just a drink, it's chemistry, it's history, it's control. And whether you notice or not, it's changing you. So the next time you hold a cup of coffee, don't just drink it. Think about it, a tiny bean that traveled across continents, challenged empires, rewired your brain, and quietly became a part of your everyday life. Strange, isn't it? If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden side of something so ordinary, make sure you like this video because it tells YouTube you want more stories like this. Subscribe to Histofy for more deep cinematic stories where history meets science. And most importantly, drop a comment below. How many cups of coffee do you drink in a day? And after this, will you look at it differently? Because sometimes the most powerful stories are hiding in the things we never question. I'll see you in the next story.